If you are playing Football Manager 26 and you're looking for an elite attacking midfield wonderkid who has the potential to go on and be a future Ballon d'Or winner, Lennart Karl might just be the player that you are looking for. Before I show you why he is a player that you should go and break the bank for, please don't forget to like today's video, and if you want to see more FM26 content, subscribe to the channel. Right then, let's take a look at what makes Lennart Karl an absolute must-buy wonderkid in Football Manager 26. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lennart Karl. If you have not heard the name Lennart Karl across the past couple of months, you probably don't watch a lot of football. This 17-year-old has had a meteoric rise through Bayern's academies and he's finally now part of their senior team in real life. Recently, he would go on to play in a Champions League game and score a screamer of a goal and even receive Player of the Match for that game. At the beginning of Football Manager 26, this is his profile. He looks like a raw ball of potential and one that should develop quickly in the game. Looking at his player profile, you can see he operates mainly through the middle of the pitch, can drift out to either side of the wings and operates in those attacking areas, running at defenders and causing problems in behind defences. In terms of the attributes, in the technicals, it's all about his first touch, his long shots, his passing and his technique. Then in the physicals, we can see that he uses his acceleration, he has good pace and that agility to be able to get in and out using his dribbling skills to beat defenders. And in the mentals, he scores highly for flair, vision and determination. Although I do have to say, I feel his determination score is a little bit low in this version of the game. And he could do with a little boost on that, considering how quickly he has moved through Bayern's youth academies. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is take a look across the first 10 years of his career to see how Football Manager 26 thinks he's going to develop. Are we really going to see the best of Lennart Karl in FM26? Can he develop into an elite wonderkid? Okay, so we have now taken the first jump forward. We are 5 years into the future, and in 2030 we see that Lennart Karl is no longer a Bayern Munich player. He has changed Germany for Turkey, where he now plays for Galatasaray. How, though, did he get there? Let's have a quick look at the path he took to get to Galatasaray. So, he wouldn't stick it out at Bayern Munich for very long. He would break into their first team playing 8 times and then would move to Manchester City in the 26-27 season for 9.75 million. What an absolute steal Manchester City got. The only problem? They didn't use him. They sent him out on loan to Darmstadt, where he would play in the Bundesliga 2, playing 32 times, having 9 assists with 5 Player of the Match awards and a 7.44 average rating. He would then go back to Manchester City for 2 seasons and play a combined 9 times before being loaned to Besiktas, where he would play in Turkey for the first time, averaging a 7.56 average rating with 18 appearances and 3 goals. He then would make a slightly controversial move as he left Besiktas to go back to Manchester City, who then released him on a free transfer to go to Galatasaray, where he would now make 29 appearances in his first season, scoring 5 times, having 8 assists and 9 Player of the Match awards, averaging 7.61. So the player has now been exposed to first team football and he has settled at Galatasaray. Looking over his attributes and his player profile shows he's still the same type of player, that attacking midfielder who is going to craft chances. As the attributes show, though, the development really is there. In terms of the technicals now, dribbling of 16, first touch of 16, long shots of 14, passing of 13 and technique of 16. The physicals have also developed for first team football, acceleration of 15, pace of 14, agility of 16, he has natural fitness and stamina of 13, and the mentals have started to grow too. In terms of composure, determination is up to 14, flair is the standout with 17, and off the ball 13 to go with his vision of 14. So the player really is developing. Surprisingly, not yet broken into Germany's full team at the age of 22, but I think there is still development to come from the player. Even at this point, you would be happy with the development that has come out of him so far, but I think there is another gear that Lennart Karl could go to develop even further at the 10-year point. And finally then, let's take a look at what happens 10 years into the future. We've reached 2035. Lennart Karl is now 27 years old and he no longer plays for Galatasaray. He's back in the Premier League playing for Everton. But how did he get there? Let's take a look at the path he tried to get there. So he would only actually spend one season at Galatasaray, where he played those 29 games, scoring 5 goals. He would then be loaned to Everton for the 30-31 season. That was turned permanent in 31-32 for 19.25 million. He would then work his way into Everton's first team, playing 13 times, 26 times, and then in the 34-35 season, he would become the star player that we thought he would be. 37 appearances, 1 goal, 7 assists, 11 Player of the Match awards for a 7.63 average rating, and that was his best season to date. That gives him 223 first team appearances and 16 goals at this point of his career. Looking at the player profile though, I don't think there's as much development as I would have expected. I would have thought across 10 years, a Wonderkid of this stature really could have kicked on. And I'm not too sure whether that is because he went to Manchester City and didn't play and then got loaned out and had to end up at Everton to get a run of games in a first team. But the development really isn't what I thought it would be between 22 and 27. Looking at the pitch, you can still see he's the type of player that he was at the beginning of the game. Going to unlock defences, wants to run at defenders. And then in the attributes, this is where I'm slightly disappointed there's not more progression. In terms of the technicals, dribbling of 16, first touch of 15, long shots of 14, and technique of 16 all stand out. In the physicals, it's acceleration and pace, both up to 15, stamina of 14, balance of 14, and that agility to still beat players of 16. In the mentals, this is probably where there is the most development. 17 for his flair, 15 determination, 14 composure and off the ball alongside vision, and 13 for anticipation, decisions. So there is development there. It's just not as much as I thought it would be. Let's have a quick look at his career tab just to see what has happened then. So as I mentioned, 223 senior appearances and 16 goals across 10 years. But if we go in, you can see that he is described as one of world football's global superstars. So the game still rates him highly, even if the development isn't what I thought it would be. So maybe I have too high of an expectation for Lennart Karl, and he has actually developed as I thought he would. So at the age of 27, he's described as an elite winger. He has a reputation of 3.5 stars. He has 4 honours and 5 awards across his career, and has 10 goals in 119 matches for Everton. So that is 10 years of Lennart Karl's career. I personally thought he would develop a bit more. I'm not too sure whether, as I said, Manchester City held him back a bit, but I really did think he would have kicked on a little bit more. So there we go then. That is 10 years across Lennart Karl's career according to Football Manager 26. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of the development that you saw across the 10 years of Lennart Karl's career? Did you expect more like I did, or do you think he came out about right? Also, don't forget to like today's video and subscribe to the channel. And if there are any other Wonderkids that you want to see featured on the channel, let me know those in the comment section down below too.